Give it up for Matt, everybody.
So I moved to LA about 5 years ago from San Francisco, and I was really excited about the move because, as a gay man, I really wasn't finding like any eligible bachelors up there. They were all like Asian men or men 20 years older than me, or bears who were Asian who were 20 years older than me. So I was excited to move to LA because there was a new dating pool. And all these, models and actors that I'd be able to date. I was just like thrilled to come down here and, find and discover like the man of my dreams. So I moved down here and I don't know anybody. So I joined this website called gay.com, which is just like match.com or like OkCupid, but for gay men. My friends and I would call it GDC because gay.com just sounds so weird. So I joined it, and it works just like Match.com, where you set up your profile, you put, like your pictures and what you're looking for, like either you're looking for a date or you're looking to get like screwed at a glory hole. And I was looking for the earlier of the two, and so I signed up for it, and I go on there and I talk to some guys, and I'm talking to this one guy, and his name is Craig. And, I'm very attracted to his pictures. He's a very good-looking guy, and we just have, like, these really perfunctory kind of conversations over the internet, like, where are you from? Where'd you go to school? How big is your penis? And so we decide that we're a match, and we decide to meet at this bar in West Hollywood called Here. I know, gay clubs have, like, the greatest names, don't they? And so we decided to meet there on a Sunday night. He says he's going to be there with, like, all of his friends. And I don't know anybody, so I'm just going to go alone. So I go to Here, and I meet Craig. I find him, and, we just kind of, like, talk for about, I don't know, like maybe 2 minutes. And we kind of like repeat like the same conversation that we had online, like, where are you from? Where'd you go to school? How big is your penis? So we talk for a few minutes, and like I see him, and he's like, just so good looking. He's like as good looking as like, Jake Gyllenhaal was in Brokeback Mountain. He's like, I know, he's a stud. And so, I'm just like so excited, and I'm like, I would never have met a guy like this in San Francisco, like never, ever, 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 ever. So it just like totally validates my decision to move here. So Craig says to me, he's like, well, he's like, I just got to go say goodbye to my friends, and I'll be back in just a minute. And I'm like, cool. All right. So like I'm sitting there, and I'm like thinking, all right, this guy's like, he's into me or whatever. And, like being alone in a gay bar is, never easy because everybody comes with these big crowds and everything. So, I'm standing there and everybody's looking at me like, why is this guy come here alone? But I kind of ignore it because I know that, Craig's going to come back in a minute. So I like take out my phone and I email, really pretending email and pretending texting and pretend like people are like contacting me at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. And, so like 5 minutes pass and Craig hasn't come back yet. And, it's like a club. So I'm like, well, he probably walked his friends outside and walked them to his car, and he's going to come back, any minute. 10 minutes pass and Craig isn't there. So I begin to, think like, oh, well, maybe he can't find me. So I start to walk around and look for him, and I don't see him anywhere. And, I still kind of try to play it off, like, oh, yeah, I'm looking for my friend, and everybody's sort of staring at me like, what's this guy doing here alone? Who goes to a gay bar to try to pick up guys these days? Like, he's crazy. So, about like 15 minutes pass, and at this point, I come to realize that I don't think he's going to come back. And so, I leave the bar, like totally humiliated and dejected, thinking that, not only did this guy spend 2 weeks online chatting to me, but he met me in person and then decided that, he didn't want to have anything to do with me and didn't want to date me or even give me like a cordial goodbye, like, see you later, I'm not interested. He just left. So 4 years pass. And, now I have a circle of friends and everything. And my friend Amanda says, I know this great guy I want to set you up with. He works at my gym. And, oh, you would be perfect for each other. So she gives him my name, and I get his name. And we both decide we're going to look up each other's Facebook profiles, which really just means we're just going to look at their pictures just to see if we're a match. And Amanda calls me, and she says, so, my friend says that, you look awfully familiar, but he doesn't know where he knows you from. So I tell her, I go, this is Craig. He's this guy. I went on a date with him 4 years ago, and he stood me up at the Hero Lounge, and he just left after 2 minutes, and he didn't tell me where he was going, and he just ditched me. And she was like, okay. And so it, validated, I finally got to put him in his place. So anyway, I discovered, through this kind of, long chain of events that, maybe the guys in San Francisco weren't so bad after all. Thank you.
Matt, everybody.